They aren't necessarily known for burning down the clock, but when they do historically play a bit slowly, we are going to get Trent insta-locking the Tejo.
Yeah, but we get Boot Chamber!
Oh, wow,
Okay.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, they're going heavy into this one. I like the fact that we're seeing that. I think the double initiator now ducking out. That was something that they ran before. Benji locking in the deadlock as well would be a cool little addition. One side of the map locked out, the other side going to be incredibly aggressive. And a player we've known for his sort of first bullet accuracy and flair, picking up that chamber. Well, they're definitely bringing fire into the map. Whether it works or not is something completely different.
Yeah, to be seen. Honestly, I love Deadlock. Yes, technically a Sentinel, but I think Deadlock feels so much stronger on the attacking side. And so I honestly, I love this comp for Heretics. I love that they're starting on attack. I love that they're going to be pushing G2 on their back foot, or in theory they should, to open up the map. They've got a really nice setup here to be able to close this series out. I think Jogamo has to have a better performance. Has to. And then Leaf, we talked about him at the beginning, prior to the series starting, was fine, but not the Leaf we expected.
Yeah, I think it's two very different looks to how you can play the map. I think like a lot of it will be looking for those first duels for the side of Heretics on that attack side, and then that aggression that you can run in with on the Teo. I think it's going to be an absolute brawl.
Yeah, we haven't seen Heretics play Lotus all of stage 2. They didn't go there at all, and this is what they've been working on. I am so excited. How are you guys feeling about this? Excitement?
They've cooked. I just don't know if it's going to taste good. Like it's one of those ones that feels risky. Like you're very reliant on both Miniboo and Wu having good performances. If they do, if it's like the last map, they could absolutely destroy G2.
I've very rarely seen a Turkish player falter on Chamber. I am so excited to go into Lotus and send this back to your casters, Uber and Wyatt.
You know, this is kind of the rivalry we were being promised last year, actually. Think back to Shanghai. G2 and Heretics played 3 times at that event, and G2 was ultimately knocked out by them, and then they just didn't play. They didn't play a champs, they were both there. Up until this point, they've dodged each other. So now we kind of get that renewed. It's crazy to think back to how things were then. But I mean, thinking back a little less far, that Corrode game for G2, not convincing, a weird comp that caused them to struggle to scale into parts of the map they had to control.
I think Team Heretics made an amazing decision exploiting that map, the hole in the pool that G2 have right now. But we're on Lotus. This is G2's bread and butter. I think the de facto best Americas team on Lotus right now, having most recently beat NRG, who look like the best team on the map in Americas. So I put G2 as the top dog here in the region, and Heretics will have their work cut out for them. But right now, man, they are looking good, even just on that individual basis with 3 players dropping 20 bombs on map 1.
And it's been a while since I've seen this double Sentinel look, especially with Chamber and Deadlock on Lotus. Like it cropped up in Americas randomly. Sardhak was playing it on this map, but let's see what Heretics have for us. Jaw gonna be able to receive Boo as they make their way over towards the B site. We're gonna see the Deadlock wall thrown down to cut off that C-Link entrance. Jaw goes searching, gets another one. Low as he is, Wood gets blown to pieces.
And now, Team Heretics are trying to pivot, but no matter where they go, there's just G2 players waiting. Good kill from Benji, but this is going to be tough on Joe. To the wide swing is crazy, but Friends can't get the trade.
I don't know how he gets away with that one. Joe, the professor is in.
I've never seen a wider wide swing in my life.
Oh, man.
That was so crazy. And what was this from Jaw? How does he find this second kill? That's a nice first tap. Takes that engagement. Just spammed the wall. Yeah, just that Sheriff high bullet pen.
I think Heretics looked really contained there. In a post-plant scenario or trying to trend towards one. Jesus, guys, some respect, some decorum, please. My goodness. The Gluten Gladiators in there. Balance pushed up on. Oh, that's not good at all.
That connected.
Yep. Grab net
honestly,
into paint shell, baby.
Feels like some karma for seeing Leaf hitting so many early grab nets when he plays Deadlock. That's over on Bind. Won't be seeing that today, but it deserved, justified in a way, honestly.
Snarled up. Absolutely nowhere to go. Now, Stealth Drone gets a good clear of B main. Obviously one of the few teams that bring Tejo onto this map, or any map still, RG2.
I mean, worth noting that Heretics are continuing their streak of just having cool little util combo plays that are getting a lot of value in this series. It only took 2 rounds for one to be activated here.
Yep.
I mean, kind of the oldest one in the book, really. The nade with a thing that makes people not move. but it works.
That is the most circuitous way of saying immobilize the Q-Tilt. Into the side we go. Another grab net here that came back online. Valor gets back from it and sees just a glimpse of the spike go loose. That's confirmation enough for G2, and now they're going to set up by a waterfall. Sees on Woot inside the smoke and eventually catches a stray one. Has to rendezvous one out of there.
Does recover the stinger, wants to throw that over to Miniboo, and in the midst of trying to just be a good teammate, he gets shot for it. How sad is that?
Put your body on the line out there. And I won't hear otherwise. This time G2 far more proactive across the map despite the loss of Leaf early in the round. So Valen pushed up, got that mound control. Obviously this is... I can't help myself.
That's a little combo.
Me, bro, is going nowhere in a hurry. Oh, we'll find chunks of his ear up in the parapets of Lotus.
There's a
Yeah,
Guardian.
got COVID, bro.
They didn't take C, guys. There was 3 C, but nothing C.
That
Really
call,
good.
pretty important.
Get some easy kills afterwards, clean them up. But hey, Heretics, I'll be content with that. A spike down, 1 kill. And also, definitely instills a little bit of fear about playing in C main early, I will tell you that. But now they've got the full buy going. Still with that outlaw.
Leaf, witness protection program. He's moved. He's in a different postcode.
Hit Valen, he teleports immediately. He TP'd right away, as does Woot when he's getting pressured.
Stunned up by that special delivery. Able to rendezvous out of trouble, and G2 have maintained this foothold here, forward on Rubble. They're going to want to fight for it, and Woot at best have his wits about him.
And he just wants to make sure he's looking in the right direction. Valen going to have to deal with everyone from Heretics coming through main.
He's ready for it. Smoke down, but replaced by a poison orb.
Those players are so weak, in serious danger of just getting one shot by the Guardian to the body, and John wants more.
Yeah, here's that late ramp coming through as well. Heretics are going to be pretty sure on options. Jorgamo's been dealt with. B main, though, not the safe passage the Heretics might be hoping. They're going to go for this now. Hordes will eat Valen's crosshair placement for breakfast.
Wow, and Leaf spotted out, so they know there's a player with the Bucky and Waterfall. Leaf won't have an opportunity to get a better weapon. Team Heretics can absolutely still win this if they play at range. It's stingers, it's a shotgun.
There's a lot of angles to watch for, and they don't know the status of Halls, Heretics. Now, though, G2 showing themselves in Waterfall. Guided Salvo to try and clear the side, but Woot is obviously sat up on that box. Ready to give this space up should it be required as Leaf. Some early information, maybe a triple swing coming out, and here comes an avalanche of G2 players to get themselves their third.
Man, Leaf ends up doing a great job there, just baiting himself for his teammates to be able to swing. That was really well done. Prior to that, some good anchoring from Valen. Jog gets right into backside to support.
Some pep in their step a little bit after a bit of a crushing end to Corrode.
It was really nothing crazy. It's just the G2 players killing them at the choke, denying them on that entry.
And a little thing, but that stealth drone for Trent gets so far down through B main. Notice that like Woot was constantly looking back. They didn't have any coverage of that part of the map, and he was never truly looking secure in that A lobby area.
Some shards here for Heretics, but opportunity for G2 to extend the lead, extend the economy. Of course, they've got the Odin online. Last time they played Lotus, they were running 2 Odins on defense just to spite NRG.
They might spring out and fight here. Guided Salvo used already just to slow that Rubble push down. Jonah hit with a Paranoia. Miniboo is hot on his heels. The Prowler doesn't slow him down for a second. He gets his crosshairs set, but re-enters the second wave, then steps up with the Sheriff. Jordo wants to fight out in the open. He's down for it. Flash through the wall to follow up the clone might be the play. But G2 have a good opportunity to slow the game down. Boo revealed as that screen comes down. And with the last one to step up with nothing but the big iron. Trent will give him the flick.
Could have slowed it down, but no desires. They have the entire team there, and they are just ready to pop out on those low HP, low weapon Team Heretics players. I do want to say, it's of note that on this map specifically, G2, their defensive win rate, 62%, and attack, it's at 47%. They win this map all the time, and it comes down to their defense. They still are below 50% on attack, despite winning this map constantly. So they really are reliant on putting together a number of rounds here.
Kind of bucks the trend of sometimes what we see on this Lotus map or any 3-side maps. Miniboo here, someone who we've had limited opportunity to highlight in this map. King of openers on Corrode. This time has had the book shut in his face for each of these last 5 rounds.
Root's got this operator. Trying to post up towards B main. Might honestly have an opportunity. It looks like Leaf was jump peeking that angle towards spawn, but the wall will cut that off. And now Team Heretics needing to take space elsewhere, but it's right into the Odin.
The disgusting off angle, isn't it? Here's the Nightfall.
And then the salvos, they push Heretics back. That keeps Jonah alive. Nightfall to ensure both his life and the space is retained.
Audrey clears that rubble space on A and gives G2 the window now to fall back to more defensive positions.
That was some really excellent play with the utility by the two G2 initiators in that situation. Very well done.
They both, of course, have that safe info gain. Stealth drone is going to snip a bit of this out, and there's Woot just headbutts the bullet in midair.
And now the three remaining Heretics players scrambling to get up towards rubble side. G2 know what's going on. Jaws pushed all the way out of C mount.
30 seconds left.
And Jonah doesn't have any info to play off of yet. Paranoia here in a baby door. Valor might have his hands full more than he bargained for. Oh no! He bet the house on it! Flawless round there for G2. Heretics stopped in their tracks yet again.
That has been a duo that have been putting up crazy numbers. The Jonah and Valen on that playoff run were sick. This was really the moment in the round I want to highlight again, though. Jonah on that angle, getting the kill, then the immediate missiles to force the rest of the Heretics team back. He nightfalls. That's just to keep him alive and control that space. But it was all worth it. It was all worth it. That was some really, really lovely team play.
And the mark that Baby Bay left on this team is something that we still witness. These guys are loud and proud, and they're pretty rowdy.
And honestly, at times it feels like that might have been the only thing they were missing, you know, was a bit more of that trash talk, a bit more of that flavor.
For all their success they'd had, coming into this year, they were considered to be pretty low-key team, you know what I mean? And as a result, a lot of people sort of underestimated them, felt that, you know, maybe they weren't always in the game. Like I said, Leaf, on his return from, from illness, standing up straight away, screaming at these opponents, you guys suck. I haven't played for 2 weeks. And a lot of encouragement to one another to get up, to stand up. And, you know, we heard from Valen, actually, you know, sort of saying that he really had become fixated on chasing the trophy for so long that the performance in Toronto really had him down after, you know, that weak performance at Masters. He said that Baby Bay gave him a real perspective, reminded him about the joy of just playing the game, just being there, having a chance to compete. This G2 team, remember, they have to fight for their place in franchising. They're an Ascension team. They don't get it for free. Nothing is granted to this team. They've got to fight for all of it.
Out of this timeout, Team Heretics can't afford the full buy. It's going to be just Sheriffs and a fast attempt to get out of rubble that will succeed. G2, no real interest on this side of the map at the moment. Outside of the Odin from Leaf, one of two defensive Odins that will be frustrating to the utmost extent.
Such
Team Heretics.
Gentlemanly play. It's just a solo explore here for Boo. Safe over towards that rubble area. Looks like Heretics want to wait this one way out. Set up a spot here to play off for Woot. You've got to be a little intricate in a round like this for Heretics as you are underarmed. Now, down in numbers as Jorg just has a peek. And Benji is the one that gets picked off.
There's a lot of damage dealt from Valen as well, so Mini Boo very low on HP. Boo has retained this space forward on rubble. He's been playing off one of those sonic sensors.
Trained at info there, but that does break the double face that he and Leaf had.
I mean, still though, a few Sheriffs against an Odin. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the Odin. I will take the Odin in this situation. 3 players, don't really care.
Yeah, Leaf against Sheriffs here. Sees Mini Boo coming.
Oh,
nicely done.
nice
Head
job.
for Woot. Lives up to his name. Trent now might need to play a little safer for the time being. Buy a little time for Jonah to join. It's another Odin, of course, on the site. Now Heretics need to try and find a safe place to get this plant down. Ariens is getting an outline drawn of him through the masonry.
G2 allow that plant. It doesn't really matter. They're just going to wait for the rest of the team to get there. Dimensional drift to try and ensure a safe retake in this 4-on-3.
Yeah, Jaw sees a heck of a lot from his Riens. He's out into the sunlight. Boo, quite the opposite, playing from the dark cover, is felled by the shorty of Jaw. That's G2 with 6 unanswered defense side rounds.
Heading into this, we really had no idea what to expect from Team Heretics. They haven't played Lotus at all in Stage 2. They're using this unorthodox double Senti comp with the Chamber. I mean, this is only the second time Root has played Chamber this year of 69 potential opportunities. It is a rare but fun pick. so far hasn't been able to get a ton of value from it. This G2 defense is just rock solid.
And Doug honestly mentioned on the desk that he likes this double senti look quite a lot on the attack side. I think he was talking to the deadlock as well. If Heretics can get those solid post plants. But they've been stopped before the sites constantly, much like G2 suffered on Corrode.
Valorant spams away from the door. Cover, and oh my god, he comes up.
And not only comes up, I mean, that's the info gain for Heretics off the table now.
Nightfall off the table. Heretics have all 5 ultimates. That's reduced to 4 in this specific round.
Tour de Force was set for some value there, but Trent respects the long sight line towards Rubble, forcing a bit more of a readjustment here from Woods.
I mean, we are yet to even see a situation where this deadlock can thrive on attack, which is really going to be in those post plants, disrupting floods and retakes coming in.
Well, Wood is definitely away from the safety of that trademark here, or that rendezvous rather.
But obviously, you know, with that audio cue of the ultimate being used, G2 know they're going up against an AWP.
So
they're not going to give anything to Woot, right? I mean, and this is just frustrating as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, clock really getting burnt now. We're heading to 30 seconds and Heretics don't have any critical map control yet.
Yeah, now the door is activated because Team Heretics want to make it seem like maybe they're going towards A, but no, it's going to be a pivot towards baby door right now, but the Odin spam is there.
Leaf opened the door and he came out a tree. Found a backstab opportunity. Now Wood gets lit up on the side. Jaw waiting for them to push through. I don't know how this is going to go down. Shorty spam. Jonah, though, is caught by the grab net. Wood gets purchase with the stinger. And Miniboo not quick enough for Valen. He's had 2 massive kills in this round. Now the post plant, all well and good, but ideally, you have an even number of players.
I mean, Benji has the annihilation. Will there even be a moment for it? I mean, perhaps if we can kill Leaf.
Yeah, Tour de Force here. Active. Wood finds Valen. Annihilation didn't catch. Leaf's going to take the fight up close, but Benji wins it out, and it's all on Trent. Quick step, sidestep, gets him out and gets the kill against Wood. Stunned up briefly, and time is anything but on his side. Benji comes around. What a cleanup. And Heretics have arrived on Lotus.
Perfect timing for the swing from Benji. Beautiful shots from Woot. Finally puts his stamp on this game individually. Gets into the mix as soon as he gets that ultimate. Wow, look at that aggressive play onto Jaw and then immediately repositions. New Valen's coming somewhere from that C side, given he had killed Miniboo prior.
This is G2 having to fight a retake against the double senti of Heretics. But it's less about the util that favors them there. Woot just has a stinger and a Tour de Force to work with.
And I'm just wondering how many rounds might it take for Heretics on this half when they swap to defense, where G2 are less favored on attack. They're worse half by the numbers. They're pretty fair margin.
Their Rubble fight's pretty good with this comp, though, in fairness. That A side of the map, you can be proactive on defense around the grav net.
Now Woot has picked up this operator after finding success with the ult, and again just controlling towards A. That hits in towards C. Valen under a lot of danger, just needs to escape.
Miniboo could only speculate with the showstopper there, was hit with the paranoia in the way in, and now a Nightfall. Valen the only player caught by that. Jonah forces Woot off the line with the Prowler. And now he can hold it, get into tree once more with the Odin, but the action's here at C.
Team Heretics can't really take much more space though. They've already committed both of their ultimates just to getting the spike down. No waterfall control, no hulls control, and G2 have an Armageddon for this retake.
And that barrier comes down pretty quickly. Armageddon now threatens the back of the C side, so Heretics now got to commit to that high ground themselves. Trent wants to get in, the grab net is a big problem, and then Heretics are ready to fight in the side. That is premium anchoring from the EMEA squad.
They play to the 1 out, and they win out all of those duels. Their out was fight. It was step in front of that Armageddon. If they scrambled, if they tried to run, it would have been over. G2 would have gotten in with ease. Well, they played right at the choke point.
Well, their out happens to be their MO, Wyatt. Couldn't have asked for a better convergence there of ideas.
Wow, and despite G2 being up 6-0, look at the state of their money. They're into this round with a hero rifle, a judge, and a guardian.
This is what seems like a big commitment to Mound, but of course everybody has get out of jail free.
Oh my god. Sick reaction to be able to 1v1 the judge, close range. Leaf doesn't even get a shot off.
The judge player so favored in that spot, Wyatt.
Jaw forced to teleport away with that pressure coming as well, so Team Heretics making a hell of a lot of noise, rocking the store.
for the most part, playing off the action. VALORANT is so low. Can't afford to expose himself. He would like to just slow the game down if possible.
And after 40 seconds of straight audio, Team Heretics have cut noise. They're rotating towards the safe side. They wait out for Boo to actually break that stealth drone. It's just Trent, playing towards A, and no longer.
Yeah, he was pinged out there. Woot's able just to post up on the line and quickly take him down.
Might have been on a jump across even that he gets that shot.
Horn has to be cleared, so that will show Jonah P here in this corner.
Yeah, would hate to be him in this situation. Okay.
Guardian doesn't quite have the flexibility to get him out of that one.
A little unnecessary to do it that way.
Style point awarded though for sure.
Plus 20.
And now Woot can wait for this push up from Pitts. It's VALORANT. Something in trade as Boo is down, but he's done his duty well and truly.
Now that Woot has the off, he's coming to life in this game on attack. Controlling the map, cutting off rotates.
Making it hard for Trent to get that passive, safe info on the A side.
What a kill to find here, though. Oh, I mean, look at that from Leaf's point of view. And yeah, he does catch Trent on that jump cross. I mean, this first satchel wasn't even ideal, but maybe that made it even better, honestly. Yeah. That the jump made no sense.
The Guardian's definitely not built for that.
No, not ideal in the 1v4 you're getting satcheled at.
Okay, Heretics, they are halfway to making up this total, but they're going to be seized off the rip, so slowed right on down. And as D2, now a chance to send a Paranoia in to further disrupt them.
G2 did not fight heavily over this space. It's just spammed through from Jonah. Man, that sounded more dangerous than it ended up being from the point of view of those Heretics players.
Yeah, just Woot there with a smattering of damage. Boo as well. They can shrug that off though and get back to business. So far,
I was going to say, Boo does have this ultimate to teleport into the site, gain some information, and off that distraction, Team Heretics can press forward a bit.
Maybe a B pivot here? With how they set that Sonic sensor up, that's looking more and more likely.
It's only tough because they have no B main control, which is being exploited by Jaw. He's pushed all the way behind them with the AWP.
He's going to go for it anyway, by the looks of things. Okay, Trademark to stop a backstab on them.
You could see how worried Boo was. He was jump spotting that angle, and Jaw heard him run away, so he's pushing up. Heretics are being flanked by an AWPing Yoru at the moment.
Valentine on the site. Jonah not able to really stop them. It's only Woot out of the mix, but Trade from upper gets the job done. It's dirty work, but someone's going to do it. Playing in the site. Spike recovered by Riens, making his way forward. It's Boo sat back inside tree. And G2 have a chance now to contain this Heretics squad.
They do have that Paranoia to play off of. It's in the hands of Boo. Maybe that can be the tool to victory, but Jaw's been on this flank for a while. Riens is ready.
He's too good. Riens, sharp was attack, but Leaf flutters by. And that 3-round streak of Heretics is put to bed.
Jaw just got so much map control alone on that round by being pushed all the way out B. Team Heretics were surrounded this entire time that they were maneuvering towards A. To those 20, 30 seconds before planting. Trent right here, this was the perfect moment. Throws down those missiles. Players forced into the open. 2-piece was lovely. Could always trust Trent to have a good game when he's on the Tejo.
Yeah, I mean, obviously someone who abused it extensively for G2 during his heyday, and even after those changes, still found ways.
One of the only teams in the world that still play it.
Couple of maps where it pops up. So, example of how those guided salvos can really be utilized. Boo gets chomped on here, forced to TP away from rubble.
And he does throw an early smoke over towards B heaven, so that definitely implies Heretics have ideas of getting into this B side, especially with the wall going down and Leaf exposed, isolated in the site.
He felt like he had to play ahead of that smoke, so puts himself in an odd off angle. Trent's just trying to go to work on the wall here, but this is a true post plant.
I was hoping Trent could have helped, but can't when that wall is thrown down. Now Jaw trying to work his way into Blue Room, does have a teammate in Jonah.
Setting up the gate crash. Oh, nice use of the clone there. Does trip the Sonic sensor. Should be able to get into Baby Door now, but Jorg is taken down by Miniboo. It's now up to Jonah. Has to flick with the Odin, and it's just not going to happen.
Benji gets into that off angle, and VALORANT blinded up by Boo.
Now Heretics starting to make this one interesting. Trent is going to have to get off this one. And that was pretty simple, right? That early smoke you mentioned by Boo to up, and it forces Leaf forward. Puts himself in a little bit more of an exploitable position.
And then all of that util dumped towards B main. The wall, I believe there was a nade as well. So Trent, he's forced back towards that waterfall side. The Leaf is immediately overwhelmed. Doesn't even have the ability to get one. Trent doesn't have the ability to save.
And that's how you're always conditioned against these double senti comps on the attack side. You do not want to have to give that space up and try and flood into a side campus with their util.
Yeah, it's that nade, that wall. Leaf caught alone. Benji does a great job there adjusting to an off angle after being tucked in the corner right as Jonah's going in. And now for this final round, the Nightfall is in play for Heretics. One away from the showstopper. It's a low buy for G2. They're on the cusp of a couple ults. They could make this happen.
Oh, Wood caught out. Palin just, I don't know, hides out of sight there, but it's not exactly a rare spot to play from.
Just teleported up, I think, like right as the haunt was pinged, basically, and Woot was confident to continue holding that angle. Too confident. He's punished. But Miniboo does recover that orb, so they have the showstopper and the Nightfall to activate a site exec with.
Yeah, but there's a gate crash here for Jorgamo to get out, and he hears this showstopper coming.
He's caught!
Couldn't get away. That's nuts. All right, here comes the wall. So Heretics with that deadlock util setting up now. Last time we saw G2 try and flood in here, they got absolutely battered.
And Nightfall used very early, and Team Heretics can't really do much off of it. Counter Nightfall going to come through from Jonah. This is going to have to get massive value. Definitely going to hit at least 2 players.
Also got itself in the back corner. That is respected, though, by Riens.
This site smoke is really great for keeping these anchors alive right now.
Yeah, G2 trying to make their win, but they got a cross here. Miniboo's going to see a head pop up in a moment you'd expect.
Site smoke being cycled again. Miniboo on that lower angle, but under pressure.
2 players seized there. This is dangerous. Decade down now, getting that health back. It's on Boo. Takes a moment to step up. And Trent eventually falls, but it's labored now. 2 versus 2. League trying to get out through the smoke. And Riens gives a good account of himself. But Fallon not ready for the swing. Riens again. Gives Heretics the edge they need. And it's a more than respectable half for them. 7-5.
That was 6-0 at a time for G2. And Heretics run back 5. John just couldn't get out in time. Minnie was too quick. And this post-plant setup was excellent. The way that Boo was controlling the site by cycling those star covers, you could see the safety that it provided for the other Team Heretics players to retain control towards Bend, to fight when G2 were flooding back in. Beautifully handled.
Let's go! Let's go! And the energy is absolutely back for this Heretics squad. Strong showing on this next half. But put them out of this game at a 2-0. While we wait for that second half, let's hear from some special guests in the audience.
Et avoir la chance d'être soutenu par ses parents, c'est une chance. Et justement, c'est le cas pour Trent. Ici, I'm so glad to welcome you both, Nicole and Jason, Trent's parents here in Paris. So first of all, welcome to France. It's a pleasure to have you here. And the first question I wanted to ask you, Nicole, is we know how hard it can be for parents to let their children commit full-time to esports. So how and when did you realize that your son was made for this?
Well, he told us from a very young age that he was ready for it over and over and over again. And eventually, he just proved it. He had people, you know, calling the house, Zoom calls, all the things. So we had to just pay attention and listen, and it worked out for him. So.
And I think you did a great job indeed. Donc, comment est-ce qu'on laisse finalement son enfant commit dans l'e-sport en full-time? On sait que ça peut être compliqué pour certains parents. Donc, quand est-ce qu'elle l'a réalisé? Tout simplement, il nous l'a dit depuis très jeune. On a commencé à voir d'autres gens qui nous l'ont dit autour de nous, qui commencent à nous appeler, à faire des calls Zoom, etc. Donc c'est une évidence et il a fini par le prouver. And my question to you, Jason, is, you know, we see like the vibes here in the arena, everyone yelling for each kill. How do you handle the stress of seeing your son playing on the big stage?
Oh, this is a lot of stress for our family. Trent handles it very well, but we struggle with it. I'm just really proud to be Trent's dad.
And we can definitely see that. Donc comment est-ce que tu gères le stress de voir ton fils jouer sur cette arena avec tout le monde qui crie à chaque kill? Et tout simplement, je ne la gère pas. Mon fils le fait très bien, mais moi, pas vraiment. So thank you very much. C'est merci. C'est très beau de voir ce soutien. And we're gonna see if Trent manages to get the win on this map too.
Blistering start for G2 on the defense side, White. They get out to a 6-0 lead. But it's Heretics who claw round by round back into the game. And this guy's a big part of it. Woot here, your spotlight for our Coinbase Econ report. This is an incredible showing. As soon as he started to get that attack side op in his hands, he popped off.
It helps for the economy as well when you get a bunch of kills with a free gun. That's your ultimate. I think that definitely plays a factor. But yeah, Woot really did come to life, and it's once he started opping is when the tide began to really turn, honestly, for Heretics. But the thing I really wanted to look at coming out of this half is the fact that despite G2 being up 7-5, they only won 2 gun rounds in that entire half. That is a crazy stat. That bonus round did a lot of work for them in terms of getting in the lead and being able to maintain it by a slim margin. And now they have to close this out on what has been, by the numbers, their weaker half of the 2 here on Lotus.
So they'll start their attack side, of course, around this lurk wall at A. All moving forward. Stealth drone through to check that baby door position. Benji, though, waiting for a grab net opportunity here. Looks like Paranoia followed it in. Benji just sees Leaf waltz on past. And he's going to take his shot.
Leaf tried to take a timing, but was caught for it. And now, what did G2 do to respond? They tried to get it to be fast. Yeah, Miniboo is ready, but he knows he needs to get out of dodge. Woot is picking up the angle for him. Can he get one? Yes, he can.
Perfect. When one steps back, another steps up. But G2 able to brute force their way in.
It's not without taking a lot of damage. These players are low on HP and feeling the pressure while trying to get this spike down. But Heretics, they'll need to slow down. They need to wait for Boo to get back in the mix. He's just rotating now.
They're so low.
Valen is eager to make something happen, but it's all on Trent. Just one body shot from a Sheriff is enough to fell him.
That horn from Riens was massive. It chunks Valen down to about 20 health, makes him so easy to pick off. And now we'd have to do something, frankly, extraordinary. Sat on the site, footsteps here from up above. That's one down. Benji and Riens to the rescue, though. And a pistol secured for Heretics. Smooth sailing over the last 7 rounds.
He's ultimately just overwhelmed and alone. Heretics open this up with another trap play, by the way, and it's Leaf trying to take a timing off that trap play coming from Tree when he gets caught. There was a nade with the grav net thrown over towards kind of that back rubble cross area on the far left side. Leaf moves forward, he gets caught. G2 feel like, well, we need to pivot B. And then, did you see that lovely way that Woot, Miniboo, they play off of each other from heaven and main, just swings back and forth.
Woot picks up the line as Miniboo doubles back.
And they didn't get all the kills, but they did so much damage. Made it easy for the cleanup after the fact. G2, their patented round 2 Stinger Force.
Yeah, that's a pretty distinctive look in it. Works out more often than you maybe feel it should in America.
I mean, they made this their hallmark in 2025.
Now, there is the question, of course, of starting to get some of this map control. Going up towards Rubble could be a risky proposition as Woot is already got himself an outlaw in hands. This will clear him and force him onto a wider angle. A rendezvous away as Chalk takes all that space with a gate crash.
Yeah, he can play relatively aggro there, right? Just with the ability to get back into tree. It's one of the nice spots that you can play aggro with the chamber on this map. You're going to be so safe getting away.
Joel may have to wait for a toggle of this Viper wall. In the meantime, maybe looking for a way in or even a way to just to garner some extra information about this A side setup. Self-drone into B. The Ren's forced away here. Haunt, Poison Orb thrown up to cover that link area. This is G2 now with the Stingers getting into B.
Miniboo just waiting to see if anyone tries to run into that smoke. Not going to be the case. And then a season 8 combo, but Jonah, wow, just out of the way, was in some serious danger.
Avert your eyes if you're squeamish, folks. This is about to get ugly. Paranoia comes through. Trent also Jonah caught by that. It's one for the Stingers. Leaf trying to hold his own on the side now through Baby Door. Jorgamo has to get into the action. It's Miniboo and Woots, and the latter meets him with the Headhunter.
Absolute stunner of a shot from Woot. Both players brought such low HP against a Stinger. You almost want a favor job there, honestly, when he's got the 150 in that weapon. Beautiful retake. Gravnek gets value.
This deadlock utility.
The Seas gets value. It really has been. Heretics have been doing an absolute number on G2 with the Seizes, with the nets, comboing them with nades.
It's about as good as G2 can ask for in a round like that. Down to Stingers, they have that full B-site control. They spend Poison Orb, they dark cover upper. They could have asked for more there.
It's gotta feel good to be doing this in front of the home crowd as well. Now G2 relegated to a nothing by, a lot of Sheriffs here. And Heretics with a chance to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Joel with some questions to ask of the C-site setup. Can always gate crash back in the spawn direction.
Yeah, the setup right now on this round is the exact same as on the prior. It's just with Woot playing over on A, Trip very far back, Deadlock set up over on that C side, and Rien's playing on B.
Yep, this wall allows for VALORANT to gain this orb control. G2 usually trying to scale up to at least the tree door or this position. Huh. Reactive barrier here thrown down by Benji. Jonah's going to clear it like the old-fashioned way. Again, keeping those two players interested at C, sprinkling some catnip over that area is now G2 scale forward towards that A side.
Had a real opportunity to get the kill on Benji. He's caused quite the distraction, but Woot, it just, well, doesn't really matter, I guess, does it?
Yeah, he sold it perfectly.
30 seconds
Sold
left.
ice to a polar bear, and still, Woot would have cut them down. VALORANT gets up towards that pit position. There is a plant. Jaw has allowed it. You can see Jonah P as well playing that rubble position. We'll be able to see that long line into stairs. With Sheriff, though, it's a tough ask.
This would require some absolute magic. Jonah very late to try and pick up stairs and swing off some of this contact, but he's smoked off out of the fight.
VALORANT has to clear the haunt now, maybe try and play ahead of it. Paranoia comes in, though, near side him out. Jonah took a timing and didn't pan out. And Heretics have found themselves in the lead on Lotus.
It was a long journey to get here, and one that at a time didn't seem like was ever going to happen. Didn't seem possible when G2 were up 6-0 to start the game. But they have arrived. Woot topping the board, slow start on map 1, but he has bounced back on Lotus. G2's pick. So once he started picking up that operator, and speaking of, in this round, he's got the tour de force. Likely going to just pop that. He's playing with the Stinger right now.
I love a good acrostic poem.
And on account of that second round force, it's taken up until now for G2 to have an actual buy with rifles.
The attack sign continues to look questionable.
Just another util combo.
Jonah, he didn't have the ability to TP out. Okay, and there's Woot yet again. It's all the same pistons pumping here for Team Heretics that have given him this momentum over the last few rounds.
And if you'd like to dodge these util combos, enjoy walking into our operator on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, you can't play ahead of them. Lucky for VALORANT, he could sort of TP out, Jaw much the same, but Jonah did not have such an option. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Util combos are one side, tour de force on the other. And Woot is the kind of player who will just repost and get ready to fight again.
Cover going out.
Smoke's being cycled to control A main for Team Heretics.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, that timing, and Jaw just making noise, and he's just caught. He just has no idea.
And just, you know, that's around where Boo pops up, reads his head, crucial kill, falls back into that passive gameplay.
Look at how quickly Team Heretics are already getting right on this C site to help Riens.
Now, Riens is just clear of that, but Trent's able to run him down. Traded out instantly, though, now as Boo sat up in his corner again. This guy, he's always in a corner. Never to expect him. And he pops out like a spectre to claim the round.
A round where Heretics just do everything right. For what feels like the millionth time in this series, they get value with a util combo early. And then on the opposite side of the map, Leaf tries to take some space. If you're not getting hit with a util combo, you're walking right into an operator sightline. And then late when they go for that C hit, Boo has already picked up that solo player on B. They pivot 3 immediately. They're there to stop them. They were everywhere they needed to be at all times.
And after losing 6 rounds in a row, G2 have decided to phone a friend. It's a timeout called. And another anemic attack side is being put on display by America's #1 seed.
Phoning 2 friends as of late, as per the last few times we've watched G2 play. They're not going to have any cash coming into this next round. But the intentions are not really for this next round. It's about the next buy, because on that round, they'll also be getting towards potentially 3 new ultimates available.
And again, there have been a number of teams that have stepped up to test G2 domestically, but Team Heretics are a different beast entirely.
Now, we're talking about this G2 team that has been nothing but consistent this entire year. Their worst placement is 4th at a global. It's 4th at Toronto. I mean, that is crazy. Across BCT, they've won all 3 America stages, 2nd place at Bangkok. Heretics' volatility, high highs, low lows.
Their ceiling
is unbelievable. Their roster, the talent that they have is outrageous. They can take down any team in the world rather, on the right day.
And as good as G2's floor is, it's high. They are struggling to reach those heights right now. VALORANT for Miniboo is the exchange over towards that mound direction, and G2 would like to step in and take some liberties here.
Jonah now recovered. Just one away from that Nightfall, so whatever happens for the rest of the round, live, die, get a kill, he's going to get that for the next, surely.
Once again, preemptive barrier to prevent Leaf lurking up any further on this A side. He'd have to give a sound cue if he wants to advance more northward into tree.
By the way, just some note, but Woot didn't invest into the op. He's just playing with the rifle here.
Boo in that spot we saw him in last round. That is checked for by the Prowler.
Much like a prior round, Jonah is just here in the dark cover on C, making a ton of noise. But juxtaposed to that last round, this one, he dies. So
it does put Benji solo over at the A side, and VALORANT with some sharp shooting.
Yeah, great kill from VALORANT. I mean, this is 2 times, though, that Team Heretics really didn't rotate off. Jonah did cause enough of a distraction for them to stay. And now they've got a real shot at winning this on account of Trent having that Armageddon, despite just the Sheriff. That ultimate can more than make up for it.
Yeah, into stairs or upper A site. Both of them likely to rattle Team Heretics and force them to quickly reposition. Leaf's going to call these footsteps. He knows they're coming through. Sat in pit. He'll hear the drop down as well. He's got all the information he could ask for, but now to make an informed decision off of it is a different story. Here's an Armageddon. Leaf sees Boo step into his crosshair. Woot is more than he can handle. It's all right, though, because Captain VALORANT drops 4.
Wow, I mean, G2 just set up a beautiful crossfire there, ready to pick the players off when they're forced out into the open from the ult. Jonah, again, over on that C side, selling, and again, Team Heretics are buying. They've recovered rifles early on account of these kills. They get the upgrades to the weapons. This was kind of just that extraneous round out of the timeout. Hey, let's try something, see if it works. But we've got all the ults for the next one. Let's focus on the Byron. Oh, don't even need to. This one worked.
It's a massive
the half-buy worked.
I mean, it's kind of, you know, wild, right? One of your initiators just playing away from the team, none of that util actually being used to get real info. That's why it's so compelling to Heretics to stay on C there.
Back to the util combo. Well, it's the C's and the nade over towards that C main. Doesn't actually get too much damage off like it did on the prior round, though.
So it's just Leaf working this wall solo right now with an op.
Always potential when you've got that Nightfall with the dimensional drift to go for double execute. You can pop out of the ult. Players won't be able to hear you.
Yep, come out of halls or something similar. Yep, that's the play, Wyatt.
That's a counter Nightfall, actually, to just stop them.
Hasn't slowed Jaw down, of course. And here comes that G2 Nightfall. It's allowed Jaw to emerge here without being heard. And Boo again tries to get up in that box corner, but it's Woot with the emergence from B main. Pops the door open, gets 2. Lee finally neutralizes Benji on the A side. This will provoke a rotate back in that direction.
Oh, that movement from Woot was so slick. Staying alive at the end there, just working around the door. That's beautifully done. We're going to be into a straight-up 3-on-3 retake, except for the fact that Leaf can get that pit down and activates it right now. Yeah. It's going to cover up stairs, so that sight line closed off.
It's pretty devious, and Heretics don't know about tree either.
Now, the one critical piece of util is that Riens does still have 1 Prowler to try and locate a player in this pit. Ideally, of course, they want to find Leaf, remove him from the map, and remove that pit's activation.
Trent's going to pick up this rubble position, but Woot sees him coming. That's the op player down. Inside the pit is Jaw. Course over towards that stairs direction. Leaf is present. Here's Miniboo, steps up. Cut down. It's all about Riens now. Has to give it a tap. Leaf very, very low, but Riens also decaying down. What an ungodly flick. Pit comes down. Riens was already low. And it's a shaky round for G2. But they find the runway and even up the game.
A beautiful attempt from Woot in that mid-round. The push through the door, that 2K stays alive somehow even while being concussed. That was really sick. Oh. Wow, Haunt just allows him to know right where to put the crosshair. On a couple rounds now, it's been Team Heretics able to get kills over on that A side onto Benji when he's playing their solo. They've been picking him off.
I mean, it's Leaf here just working that lurk wall, this time with an op in hand. And honestly, forced the issue. Knew that Benji was trying to play pretty cannily on that A side. Still managed to dig him out from around a corner. So, Heretics timeout here. Certainly feels like momentum starting to turn against them. But there's a reasonable buy in the works here. They can still put together a solid round. They got Showstopper, they got Annihilation, and they're one away from that tour de force. So plenty of ultimates to leverage, to put their nose back out in front.
G2 have done a wonderful job getting back into this game, understanding how to manipulate some of these Heretics rotates and then exploiting that A site. That has been the key to victory. And I think they almost even learned that on a round where they lost. That it was one of those ecos where they were able to draw the attention towards C with Jonah and then late A pivot. They're like, wait a second, there might be something to this. And now getting onto the actual buys, it's finding some continued success. It was a good pivot away yet again. Team Heretics can't afford quite yet. Woot is fully buying though. Hero Vandal buys down to nothing because next round he's going to have that tour de force, so it doesn't matter. He can just try to go for it on this one, send it, see if he can make something happen.
Miniboo gets a Phantom. All right, fast push here up. Rubble fight attempted. Of course, we talked about how potent that combo would be on this defense side. Heretics assert themselves and they will insist on A-side control.
At the same time as well, Woot has moved forward over towards Mound, playing up with Boo. Two players that can take a shot and teleport away if they really need to. Not if they get hit by Self Drone though, and really don't have abilities.
Really similar to the Yoru double duelist comps where you take both extremities and use the Yoru just to gate crash away from Mound. Same idea. Jonah P that was extracted from A.
Yeah, I think that was just random spam. He was sending out some util through the smoke, trying to draw some attention as the rest of the team work towards B. Rion's very well timed C, so he can escape, and then Woot opens the door.
With the weapon as well, he's got the Vandal, and it strikes true.
Here. I think he saw the indicator from the headshot through the box, so he kept spamming. Benji now on the proper angle, he sees the barrel. Oh, he's just gonna capture Joel, that's devious.
There's no escape. Trent might try and break this cocoon up and realizes now the showstopper pop from Miniboo. There is no way forward.
Oh, come on, man, that is ridiculous.
This is a hero rifle buy with some sheriffs mixed in. And the perfect use of those ultimates now. Heretics can lean back and lean into this round.
And Woot has just been chilling over at Mound. No reason to leave. Can teleport away whenever. Valen
They're gonna get all the guns for this.
Oh my god.
Getting the most with the least are Heretics. And Woot never had to give up that Mound position, but does overpush into Trent. Realizing now the spend might be worthwhile to get another gun out. Rien's the next to step up. Trent does not want to deal with the bioengineered Valorant menace.
I mean, what has gone on there? So I think Jonah, maybe he was sending out the Prowler or just threw a Haunt, something along those lines. So he gets spammed down by Miniboo. Yeah, he does send the Prowler, just spam headshot, cool. This was a great moment. The paranoia into the swing, and yeah, he sees the indicator from the headshot, so he knows to keep spamming. Then they try to re-clear A, but have no fade util. Also, that's so smart from Benji. He knows if he swings wide, he could die from someone's door, so he just cocoons Joe. I mean, that's just a series of cool little plays from Heretics.
Yeah. Trent then tried to post up and shoot a cocoon, and then immediately Miniboo just pops the showstopper, and he is out of there. He's not dealing with that at all. Honestly,
a bizarre round, but very cool. And that really has just been, for me, a trademark of Heretics today. Just a bunch of cool little util plays. They're happening constantly. G2 are just getting hit with these little maneuvers, and typically it's only maybe just two pieces being used. But it's creative, and it's well-timed from Heretics.
Congratulations, folks. You are in for it. Let me tell you that. Busy times ahead. All right, round number 20 is coming at you. So we've got some sort of smattering here of decent weaponry for G2 amongst Bulldog and Stinger by.
Yeah, and by the way, again, to rehash the pre-round talk, Woot bought a hero rifle because he was going to have the tour de force this round. So now free op time with the Stinger. He just throws that rifle over to someone else, so the Team Heretics economy just suddenly inflated.
Yeah, or just insulated against any volatility. If you're a G2 fan, you are buying the dip right now.
And that time, immediately Woot is forced away from that place where he's loved to off on Chamber. Just get him to TP right to tree, get out of there. They break even that trip that was placed on the ground as well. This is some fast action from G2 taking the space, taking this orb.
This pivot back to Mound might also be pretty pacey as well.
Stealth drone could be trouble for Boo.
It'll force a TP play away potentially.
Yeah, just has to TP right away. Does he dare try to break it and then TP, fight, take a shot?
Risk the suppression.
That'd be pretty risky. I wouldn't be mad at just get out of there. Yeah, he does.
Bro, it's Boo we're talking about.
I know, it's Boo we're talking. Yeah, 99% chances to just get out of their line, and I think it's very appropriate.
He is going to be suppressed here, having a backup on the site, so hard to get some of this util out. Did still get a dark cover into the choke.
Yeah, and Boo says it's retake time. Mini Boo's coming over, still has that nade. They've got the grab net. It's being synced up, but the nade, it goes a little bit too much to the left. Oh, no.
Still, though, waterfall control's been held by Heretics.
Yeah, Jaw just decides to walk forward into them and goes down. Takes a risk, trying to take some space.
This is to the wrong wolf inside of him. Special delivery holds Heretics at bay for a time. But off that paranoia, they might look to go for it. Here's Mini Boo. Pretty patient, trying to get forward. Ends up being a trade as he steps up. Jonah's taken down. Benji emerges. Hope for more, surely. The tour de force clatters to the ground as Leaf has only one more target to get through. And you better believe he's good for it. On his feet. And again, plants the flag for G2, refusing to be left behind by the surge of Heretics.
What a snap. And then collects onto Woot, right back to the left for Boo.
Crosshair placement.
Oh my
elite.
God. Oh my God, that is outstanding.
Look at the stress though in the coaching booth.
It felt like this game basically as good as done with a retake win there from Team Heretics. They did everything right, and it's not enough. They're going back to this fast A fight, combination of the grab net and the nade, but do they know that Valen is crossed? They want to fight out and support their omen.
They do want to throw down here. That Stinger gets Valen deep in a rubble. Benji also down, so that stall util cut a little short.
And now Woot is pushed all the way out of C. He's going to meet up against Leaf, who's going to win this duel. Woot has the opportunity!
The movement from Leaf's too good.
He had the moment, he had the time to get the kill before Leaf even had his whereabouts, but that wasn't enough. And now this round should be as good as done. Rians and Boo likely to just save now.
And honestly, it's just a moment where there's an overpush. On that C side of the map, we've seen Woot get aggressive. He's always had the rendezvous as a bit of a, a plug pull option, but there he was well out of its range. Leaf always good in those 1v1s on random extremities.
There's no way they're trying to go for this. The remaining three players have no money at all, but they're going in!
The timing for
it too!
Now Jaw and Valen might be in trouble. Nightfall's going to cut straight through and onto the site. Valen is set, tucked in the corner with the Stinger. Jaw sitting at the back of the site, a slightly safer spot, but doubled down on Team Heretics. You cannot be serious. Valen low, sees the Prowler come through and then realizes there's real follow-up behind it. Little swing, little flick now. It's all down to Boo. Needs a tap. Valen with the classic in air, and Boo is good for it.
There's just no way.
There's no reaction on his face. He's cool as a cucumber. What is that nuts timing? Out of halls. That should not be happening. Whose idea is that?
They go for the 2 versus 4. How does Rians get the 2 here? Oh my God, Leaf just staring towards Waterfall, and then Jaw is isolated. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. They went for that 2 versus 4, ripped the Nightfall, the 3 dead players, 2 of them had 100 credits left. 100 left!
The masculine urge to do something that makes
what
zero
on
sense.
earth?
All right, collect ourselves for a moment. G2 definitely don't have much time to rest on their laurels. Big ping, a couple players got spotted out there by that Horn, and Valen deep, very, very deep with that TP, but it's a rubble fight, and it's got Heretics' name all over it. Trent and Leaf might be caught there, but they brought Benji down. 7 in the chamber, Boo only with 5 bullets. Heretics are gonna stand their ground as G2 are trying to weasel out of the situation. Viper, although drops, doesn't have the juice. Leaf and Trent now would love to sneak back into the fray, and Boo says, I'll have my 3rd. Trent is at 5 HP. And this will be Heretics moving to match point. It's the only thing standing in their way.
What can Trent do in this situation? If he goes towards C, Woot is ready. The brothers are duoed up, fighting together on A. about to walk into this trip. Surely there's just no hope.
Trent will hear it here, able to clear it in time. Spike to hand. 30 seconds left. On what feels like an impossible situation. He's just faked it B. Left the site now, likely to end up at A. And what do we play around? A stealth drone? That's it.
Team Heretics just taking their time. They don't need to do anything overly reactive. Wait for the spike to go down. Play for the 3-on-1 retake. This would be an all-time VALORANT moment. This would be in the history books if Trent can somehow manage a way to win this 1 versus 3.
And the draw on every inch of his experience, his collected nature, his nonchalance. Tough to rattle this guy, but a 1v3 against one of the best teams in the world surely is going to get close. Trent hears Woot. He understands he's sound baiting, and there's Minibu to clear him up.
Down to 1 HP off that dink. 1.
We are honest with you guys, I'll give it to you straight. The money, not good for G2. Valor with a deep TP in the stairs that starts off this rubble fight, and Heretics really throw themselves at it. They know they're favored here. They trust themselves. This is the way that they win.
Those back-to-back rounds, just all-out brawl for that side of the map. And it has been over a year since the last time these two teams faced each other back at Masters Shanghai, and that was a 3-0 victory for Heretics. And it looks like they're going to extend that run to 5 maps in a row against G2 1 year later to open up Champions, the beginning of their journey, trying to get back to the grand finals as they did last year.
Joel here, of course, in drift, sees it all. Woot rendezvous on out of there. Joel pretty deep here in the side. He might lift the stick. It's Boo, just cuts him down.
He's just ready. He has his back, and Woot, are you kidding?
That is not where that came from. He'll be waiting for even more of this action. G2 get themselves up on mound. What are the options? Bulldog and Phantom, 2v5. Heretics at their best. G2, frankly, in the doldrums. Dark cover dissipates. Woot knows what waits on the other side of it, but he'll play back for safety.
Yeah, low HP, in danger of the spam repost now that he has that rendezvous activated.
That smoke now refreshed means that the way is closed for G2.
And the home crowd knows that this is time.
A pivot to Beaver. Benji Fishy will be waiting. Teeth bared. Lips licked. Waiting for that last morsel to be offered up as Valor needs to extricate himself from the net and simply step up. Decayed down briefly. Bombardee dealt with. And he knows his only option is to go forward. Suppressed W will walk into the sidelines of 3 Heretics players with Woot breathing down the back of his neck, one after another. And the greatest heresy is to put a scourge mark on a golden era. Heretics have had an up and down year, but they are here. And they've thrown the gauntlet down at America's best.
When they started at Toronto, it was an 0-2, destroyed by Paper X. Now at Champions, bouncing back from those EMEA Stage 2 playoffs even. They immediately take down one of the world's best, possibly the most consistent team of 2025. I mean, it feels absolutely mental that either of these teams are destined to be sent down to the lower bracket, but after 1 game of play here at Champions, what a shot from Woot. That was stunning.
I mean, the 2v4.
Felt illegal, really.
The 2v4 retake where they just walk up onto the site, apropos of nothing. I don't know how you can concoct a game plan like that. On the spot,
insane.
no less. That's true self-belief and a spark of inspiration that take Team Heretics now to the fore. It's the best foot forward for this number 4 seed from EMEA, and as high as the floor has been for this G2 team, we've seen a ceiling that far eclipses it.
And by the way, I just have to give Minibu his flowers for this series. 9 first kills on map 1, 7 on map 2. That is absolutely outrageous.